Good day, refiners. By clicking that thumbnail, you have earned yourself a 10-second reading dance experience. Please enjoy. Thank you all for being here. I had to go all Mark S for the occasion. Now if you click this, I'm guessing you're a fan of the TV show Severance. Like me, probably pacing around your house waiting for season 3 to drop. Now there's no official date yet, but considering there was a 3-year gap between season 1 and season 2, we might be in for a long wait. So while we count the days, I've got a list of book recommendations to help fill those waffle party voids in your life. Alright reader, what I'd like to do is share some facts about your Outie, because your Outie is an exemplary person. These facts should be pleasing. Just relax and be open to the facts. Try and enjoy each equally. Your Outie enjoys movie adaptations more than books. Your Outie thinks Colleen Hoover should win the Pulitzer Prize. Your Outie dog-ears pages even on special editions. Someone recommended Dune to your Outie. They asked, does it have spice? Alright, let's just get into the first book on the list. This is Molly McGhee's Jonathan Abernathy, You Are Kind. Now this one feels like an ASMR wellness check from Miss Casey. The title is a reference to the affirmations the main character gives himself throughout the book. He's this really anxious, self-depreciating guy, so he repeats phrases to himself like, you are strong, you are brave, there is nothing in this life not meant for you. Now, you're either going to love this character or think he's just like a complete idiot. He's a basement-dwelling hot dog vendor. He's drowning in student debt. And one day, he gets this letter from a government agency offering to wipe out his debt. Now, a little sketchy, right? Now, this company is super shady. They offer a service to company that allows them to just alter the dreams of their employees. This service basically promises to create happy workers all across America. They'll wake up refreshed, happy, more productive, and just eventually just make them more money. So Jonathan is basically a dream janitor vacuuming the nightmares out of strangers. Now, it's a little confusing what he's actually doing. The company I think shares a little mystery to it, kind of like Lumen, that the work here is important. How important is it? No one can really say. Now, the rules of this world are never really explored or explained. As a reader, you kind of just float in these dream worlds and weird work dynamics. Now, I really liked the first half of this book. I thought it was quirky, eerie, and just like really original. By the second half, I was kind of like, did I miss something? Am I dumb? It just got super abstract for me. And in the end, I found myself never really caring much about any of the characters. I personally think this book might work better as a film. There's just so much bizarre, dreamlike imagery that I think would visually thrive on screen in the hands of a creative director. Some of the abstract language I think could create a cool, like, visceral experience with the right production design. Overall, at times, it's funny, it's creepy, it's really imaginative, and there's like plenty to think about when it comes to like worth and identity. So if you like parts of Severance where like the dream logic seeps into the workplace, this book might be for you. Now imagine if Office Space got trapped into a Black Mirror episode. That's the type of vibe that this book, several people are typing, Calvin Kasulke, gives off. It's a book about a guy named Gerald who works for a PR firm in New York. One day he uploads a document to a Slack channel, and somehow his consciousness uploads with it. Like he's literally stuck in his company's Slack workspace. Now the first few pages we see him beg a chatbot for help. It's kind of useless. We all know how frustrating it is to get help from these chatbots. It just keeps linking him to these help center articles. Meanwhile, no one at his company believes him. They just think it's part of like this remote bit and he's just sick at home. While he tries to figure out how to escape this thing, he still has work to do, and he's working on this dog food campaign. It's all just a little absurd. Now, this book is told entirely through Slack messages. In each thread, we meet all of Gerald's different coworkers. Each character has like this distinct typing style. Some speak in 1 to 2 word phrases. Others use cryptic one-liners. So there's lots of emojis, lots of GIF. One emoji that's repeated constantly throughout the book is the dusty stick. I looked it up. I'm still not even sure what it means. I've never used Slack, so a lot of the references kind of just went over my head. I think I would have enjoyed this book just a little bit more if I worked for a company that used Slack or any of those type of messaging services. But with this kind of writing style, I was able to finish the book in about an hour and a half. It's a super quick read. It kind of just feels like you're scrolling through a group chat. It reminded me a little bit of The Office with some of the satire and plot lines. There's this boss who's kind of informal, kind of useless. There's the coworkers who are involved in secret romantic relationships. There's the inside jokes that carry on from the day-to-day chat threads. The conversations even have pop culture references like Evil Clippy. Now, I enjoyed this book and the commentary on working from home, corporate culture. There was some laugh out loud moments, and like I said earlier, I think I might have enjoyed this book a little bit more if I worked for a company that used Slack. Candace, the main character of Severance by Ling Ma, runs a photo blog called New York Ghost. Now, on this side, she documents a post-apocalyptic New York emptied by this mysterious fungal fever. Now, this virus originated in China and caused the infected to have a complete loss of cognitive function and any sort of awareness. The infected people become known as the fevered and are sort of trapped in a loop of their work routines. Now, this book came out in 2018 and it has really eerie similarities to what we all experienced during the pandemic. This book has travel bans, people wear face masks, they all have to work from home. So while all this is happening, Candace oddly just keeps showing up to her work office. For her, it's out of habit, it's out of structure, and aside from her creative blog that I mentioned earlier, her project, she works as a Bible production coordinator where she oversees the production of luxury Bibles. So the narrative kind of cuts back and forth between her role at that company and her time in the present. She eventually joins this group of survivors. Now, these people are immune and they call themselves the Selected, and they are led by Bob, who is an ex-IT guy who kind of gives off like cult-like leader energy vibes. And their goal is to travel to this place called the Facility where they hope to rebuild society. Now, this book isn't action-packed. There are the occasional infected zombie kills, but the infected aren't like these big scary monsters. They're kind of just mindless workers. So while they're out there scavenging department stores for supplies, they see these infected around the city. They're kind of just stuck in a mindless daze, and they're stocking shelves, folding clothes, or just kind of walking around in circles. Overall, this book is more of a quiet dystopian story. I did like that it was a bit layered with the double narrative. We read a lot about Candace's background and her parents, so there's some commentary there about immigration, relationships, and work. And it kind of puts some things in perspective for me as a millennial.
The memory police will begin collecting all references of pocket watches. Do not resist. Do not recall. Memories are no longer necessary.
Now, the last book on my list is The Memory Police by Yōko Ogawa. In this book, people live on an island where things just vanish. One day it's books, one day it's birds, the next it's calendars and perfumes, harmonicas. The physical objects disappear, and then slowly so do the people's memories of them. Now, this story follows this woman, this young woman who's a novelist. She's an unnamed narrator. We don't really know much about her, anything besides that her parents have passed away and that she's working on a novel, and that she shares her writing with an editor. Now, as things continue to disappear around her, she starts to wonder, like, what if one day words disappear? What if books and language are erased? Now, on this island, there are people who are able to hold on to their memories of things that disappear. Her editor is one of those people. Now, this puts his life at risk, so he has to be hidden in secret. So he is put in the secret attic so he can still review her novel. And of course, this is a problem for the memory police. So I got some World War II vibes, some Anne Frank allusions from this. It creates some tension in this novel. The memory police go around from house to house looking for hidden objects and hidden people. In that way, it kind of reminded me a little bit about Fahrenheit 451, but the only difference, I think, the memory police didn't turn out to be these like loud villains one might expect from a dystopian story. We don't really know anything about them. Things just disappear. People on the island just sort of accept it. It's just how things are. They forget, they move on, and I think that's the haunting part of the novel. It's more sad than anything. Personally, I wish there was just a bit more world building. There's a lot left unsaid, but I think maybe that's the point. Silence is a huge part of this novel. There are tons of metaphors of voices being lost. We even see this in the plot structure. The novel cuts back and forth between the main character's life and the novel she's writing. So if you're someone who enjoys books with like rich symbolism and that slow burning sense of dread, this book might be for you. Like Severance, this book kind of asks the questions of what happens to people when they forget who they are. There is a film adaptation coming out later this year. Lily Gladstone is set to star in this. The screenplay was written by Charlie Kaufman. He's famous for writing Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I know that film is really known for its like dream-like surrealism, surreal visuals, so I'm really excited to see how that turns out. Well, that wraps up my book recommendations for this month, and for fans of the TV show Severance. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. Feel free to leave a comment on Severance, your thoughts, your theories on these books if you read any of them. And remember, please enjoy these books equally.